Morning and welcome to week 2 of Accelerator. Um, last week we looked at our social media, and I will be doing your health checks for you this week and then just coming back to you as well. So I hope you found last week really useful and kind of started. I know some of you have messaged me to say that you have started implementing and changing your social media plan, which is fantastic. Now, just bear in mind that it can take 4 to 6 weeks before you actually start to see things change with your insights and stuff like that. So don't panic if you're kind of thinking, oh, this isn't happening and that's not happening. You've just got to be kind of consistent, because what can happen after a couple of weeks is you can sometimes get a little bit disheartened, but don't, just keep on at it and on at it, and doing what you're doing. So this week we're going to be talking about our ideal client and where they're hanging out and how we grow our following, because we need to make sure that we are constantly growing our following. Because what happens is, over the 12 weeks I'm going to show you how to create an ecosystem. And the idea around an ecosystem is that it just means that you're not kind of like a busy fool. So you're using your time really wisely, and also you're building credibility, which means then people will buy from you and they'll buy from you and they'll buy from you. However, we need to always have fresh blood coming in along the way. And that kind of will happen naturally anyway, as long as you are doing everything that you need to do. But I want to talk today about different ways of how you can grow that, because we all have our social media platforms. And when we put social media out, we know that by putting content out, people are seeing what we're doing. They're then recommending us. But how do we grow on that? How do we grow? So one of the things I want you to look at, and this is something I'd love you to write in the chat, the social media platforms that you are using consistently over a week. So you post more than 3 times a week into that social media platform, and you're doing all the things that I suggested that you do from last week. So you are interacting, connecting with people. So any platforms that are kind of your high tier, please put in the chat now and make a record of this as well. And please pop it. Actually, let's do a group. We'll do it in the group as well, so we've got accountability that we can look back. Because in 3 months' time, I don't want to see this amount of increase. I want to see this amount of increase. Okay. And that's what I want to do. So feel free to put it in here. Social media platforms, how many followers you have, or friends or connections, and your email list. Okay. And I'm going to put a post in the group as well. Let me make a quick note. Because we can then have a good measure on where we are today as to where we will be in 3 months' time, as well, because we want to grow. Now, ideally, with your social media platforms, especially Facebook and LinkedIn, you want to be growing around 500 a month. And you might kind of have this big gulp of like, oh my God, that's a lot. But it isn't. It's actually only 20 people a day that you're connecting with. So you've got to think about how you're growing your social media. So Facebook and LinkedIn are really, really simple. So what I am going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and show you what I do. Now, what you will find is that after you've been doing this for a while, the platforms will naturally just pick up who you kind of want to connect with, and they will start giving suggestions for you. And what they will then do is, so they will then kind of say, right, okay, these are the people that I think would be that would be great connections for you. But then the next stage is that you get people just connecting with you. So you actually don't have to go and do that task. I don't do this task very often now because I don't need to, because the amount of people that actually connect with me is better. So so let's look at Facebook first. Okay. So let me share my screen. Right. Okay. So when we look at our Facebook, as you can see here, because I'm in professional mode, I have followers rather than friends. and this is what happens. Now, this is what I love about Facebook. Can you all see the screen? Just give me a nod if you or thumbs up. Brilliant. Okay. So when we are looking at Facebook, we can see that we've got our followers and we've got our friends. You'll either have followers or you'll have friends, or you'll have we'll look at business pages in a moment because I know that some of you have business pages, but let's just go one step at a time. And we're going to look at groups as well. Okay, so we're going to look at all factors of how we start growing things. Now, we've got our personal profile, our business page is connected to our personal profile. So any friends that we have or followers that we have on our personal profile, we can invite them to like our business page. One thing we shouldn't do, and this is social media etiquette, do not make friends with somebody and then add them to your group and then send them a request to like your business page. Do not do that. You want to leave it a little while. Now you can do it, but unfortunately what's going to happen is they're not going to accept that request to the group. They're not going to accept the invite to your business page. They're going to find you rather rude, inconsiderate, and then they're just going to lose interest and then they won't engage with you on your post. What you want to do is it's something that you do in a couple of weeks, but I'm going to park that for now and I'm going to show you in a moment exactly what I do. Now, you can do this on your phone, but because we're on desktop, I tend to find that I try and use my desktop more for my social media than I do my mobile. And the reason why I do that is because it's about the time element. If I'm on my desktop, I know that I can just get it up on my screen, go in and do what I need to do, and I'm out again. Whereas just drop my phone. When we've got our phones in our hands, we're more in line to actually start scrolling. Whereas when we're on a computer, we don't tend to scroll as much. Okay, it's just a psychology because we don't see it in the same way. So if we look at a feed now, we don't see a feed in the same way as what we do with our mobile. So it's harder to start scrolling. Whereas when we've got our mobile with us, we have this temptation to pick it up and start scrolling. So this is why I love to do all of my daily tasks on desktop because I can get in and get out without that scrolling and it taking over. So what I would love you to do is have a look and see how many friends and followers you have. So if your Facebook personal profile is in professional mode, you will have followers. If it is a normal Facebook profile, you will just have friends. The difference being, and this is what I love about it, if anybody sends you a friend request when you are in professional mode, they automatically follow you. If someone follows you, they automatically see all your posts. So it's a win-win situation. The other thing that then happens is if you actually don't want them as a friend because you don't want to see their content because you don't know who they are, you don't have to. So what I do is when people send me, let me just let people in. When people send me a friend request, these are all the friend requests that I've had recently. There's absolutely loads of them. All right. And to be honest with you, will I accept all of those as friends? Not really. What I tend to do is I go through them and go, do I know this person? So I know Helen, so I will accept Helen's because I've met Helen. So I will connect with Helen. So if I've met somebody or I've spoken to them on social media or they've been on one of my talks or anything like that, I will accept them as a friend. If not, I will leave them there. I don't remove them. And the reason why I don't remove them is because if I then go to an event and I meet that person and then I want to connect with them, I can go onto my social media and go, oh, okay, I met Jules at an event. She has sent me a friend request. I'm going to accept that friend request now, and we can start connecting from there. But what I don't want to do is I don't just want to start racking up all my friends for the sake of racking them up because they're already seeing what I have to offer. So I don't need to worry about anything else. Okay, that's fine. So when you get to that situation, it's really good. So I've got 300 people, just nearly 300 people now that are sat there in there. So this is what I would like you to do on a daily basis. I want you to go and find friends. Now, how do we establish if somebody is a friend? They are a human being that is possibly your target audience, and you, so let me go down and let's find people, and they're your target audience, but in theory, you've got mutual friends. So what I'd like you to do on a daily basis is go and find people that you know that are your target audience and do have mutual friends. So for example, you don't have to connect with men if you don't want to. If you just want to connect with women, you can. If you just want to connect with men, that's perfectly fine. There's no right and there's no wrong here. But don't overthink it, okay? You don't need to start going into everybody's profile and having a look. What you want to kind of do is go, okay, so Heather and I have got nearly 460 friends, mutual, okay? Daniel and I have got 196. So I would be connecting with these people. Now, if you see people that you know and they are your target audience, or they may know people who are your target audience, then connect with those people as well. So there's a few people here that I would most probably connect with, but it's not something I need to do now. And the reason why I don't need to do this now is because I get people connecting with me and I want to grow my following. I don't want to be growing this side. So you see where it says here where I'm following people. I'm not interested in growing that. Okay. What I'm interested in is people following me and seeing what content I put out and then interacting with them from that point of view. But in order for you to get to this element, you're going to have to do this for a couple of months. And ideally, what you want to be doing is you want to have at least 2.5 to 3,000 friends or followers on your Facebook. So if you don't have that at the moment, that's your first goal. Okay. So if you're under 500, think to yourself, right, by the end of this month, I want to have 500. By the end of February, I'm going to aim for 1,000, and so on and so on and so on. But you need to get to that sweet spot, which is 2.5 to 3,000. And the reason why we need to get to there is because anything that we do on social media is like a funnel. So, you know, when you've got a funnel, you've got the big bit at the top where the water goes in, and then you've got the little spout at the bottom where the water comes out. That is your pipeline. Okay, you're going to have people coming in at the top that you're connected with. So you'll have 3,000 people here, but you might only have 5 to 10 that trickle through. So the bigger you're following, the more people you are getting out to, and you're going to have more people come through that little funnel piece at the bottom. However, this isn't a numbers game. You've got to have a balance. You can't just go and connect with thousands of people. And you might see where you're going through social media and you're like, well, why have they got 50,000 followers? They must have an amazing business. I can guarantee you now, out of those 50,000 people that are connected or following them, I would say only 10% are their ideal client. Okay, that are people that would potentially at some point buy from them. So you've got, it's better to have quality over quantity. However, you need the quantity to start getting out there. So if you start straight away where you're like, right, okay, we have mutual friends. They are my target audience. Now that person, and this is why I don't want you to think it. So for example, Heather is not my target audience because Heather does pretty much what I do. But by opening and connecting with Heather, that opens me up to her audience. And then her friends start to join my list. I then get put onto her friends list as a friend. So her list will start connecting with me. And that's why we do this. So don't overthink it. What I would always suggest is when you hover over friends, so when we go back to this now and we go to find friends, we scroll down. If you hover over, it gives you a rough idea of what people do. Okay, So you pretty much will know if that person is your friend or not. So let's send Heather a friend request, okay? We're just going to do that for now. And I'm going to send Daniel one. Oh, okay, it's not letting me do that. I'm going to send Kerry one. Let's have a look. I'm just going to pick 5 and we'll go from there, okay? So let's find someone else. Let's see who else we've got. I know Anna, so I'm going to connect with Anna. I'm not going to connect with my son. Let's have a look if we've got any more mutual friends. Any big ones here? No, they're kind of coming down. Oh, there we go, Julie Harris. Let's see what Julie Harris does. She's a photographer, so let's add her. Okay, so what's happened is now I've sent those requests over. Facebook will send those requests to them. If they accept them, that's brilliant, because then what will happen is Facebook will then give me access to their connections. All right. And then what will happen is I will then get put in those people's list as well, because everybody that Heather is connected with, once she's accepted my friend request, I will go into that list. So let's say, for example, Sarah is friends with Heather. Sarah will now see me as a mutual friend of Heather and go, oh, we've got so many mutual friends. I'm going to connect with Sam. But she's going to send me a friend request and she's going to end up following me. And then we're going to end up being, and she'll see. So can you see where this goes? And that's the whole purpose of it. But you've got to this starts to happen when you hit that 2,500, 3,000 sweet spot. Okay. Once you've got to that, you will then start seeing people actually sending you friend requests and wanting to follow you. And that's how you bring your number up from there. So yeah, it's just about growing it. Okay. And it's not about going from here to here within a few days. We don't need to worry about that. What we need to make sure we are doing is that we are getting the right people following us and we are doing it nice and gradually. It's great that people have 50,000, 100,000 followers, but you can always tell from someone's profile if they're the right connections when you actually look at the comments and the likes and reactions on their posts. I was looking at someone's profile the other day. They messaged me on Instagram saying that they could do some work for me because they had 100,000 followers. And when I went to look at their social media posts on Instagram, they would be lucky if they had any more than 2 and 3 likes. Now, if you've got 100,000 followers on your Instagram, you would be getting, so basically they've paid for their following or they've got bots. Whatever you do, never pay someone to add followers, okay? Unless it is a professional service and you've spoken to that person. But when you see these messages through Instagram or Facebook saying, oh, I can get you 100,000 followers and it's going to cost you $100, you will get bots. And what will happen is you will then have your account shadow banned, which will then mean that you won't be able to use them. They'll be really, really restricted. So make sure you grow your followers organically. Okay. So that's Facebook personal profile. So just bear with me a second while I just go through some messages. Let's have a look. I'm just reading the comments on here just to check if there's any questions. Brilliant. Okay, fantastic. Okay. Okay, cool. Right. Okay. So yeah, it's okay so Katie has said she gets lots of friend requests and she's very picky. I am too. Now, if you are in professional mode and you are getting those friend requests coming through, you don't need to accept those. Okay, you can just decide whether you want to accept those. The ones that you want to be doing are the ones that you are actually sending. So if Sarah has sent me a friend request, I don't have to accept that because she's already following. She's already seeing my posts. So I don't need to worry about anything else. If I've met Sarah or I've got a connection with Sarah, I will accept that friend request. But I don't accept anybody until we've got that relationship. There is no need for me to. Okay. One of the other things that you can do and this is something else, is when you have sent a friend request or you've accepted someone's friend request, you can drop them a little message and then just start building those relationships. So a quick message of, hi, thanks for your friend request, really do appreciate that. I know we've only just kind of connected, but I can see from your profile that you do XYZ and we have some mutual friends, and then kind of pick up where you can kind of pick up that conversation. So if you are doing that on a daily basis as well, what will happen is by actually accepting the friend requests and dropping them messages, they will see more of your posts as well, because Facebook kind of go, oh, you're actually friends with this person. You are making the connection. You are building relationships by messaging them. So we want to make sure that this person is seeing your posts and you are seeing their posts. And also, it's just about finding those fine lines. One of the things that I'm doing with LinkedIn at the moment is that everybody I connect with at the moment, I'm dropping them a message and just saying to them, if I then find that that message flows and becomes really engaging and someone isn't trying to sell to me, so you don't sell to them, they don't sell to you, I just say to them, oh, hi, shall we just jump on a 20-minute call at this time and let's just have a chat. And again, that's something that you can block out in your diary maybe once a week, where you go, right, okay, between the hours of 10 and 2 every Wednesday, I am going to just book calls in with people all day on the phone just to have a chat with them. Because there's nothing more powerful than a one-to-one. A one-to-one with somebody does not have to be over Zoom, doesn't have to be an hour long. You can just set your boundaries and say to someone, right, okay, how about we just jump on a 20-minute call? Are you free next Tuesday at 10 o'clock? And then just do that. And if you think about it, you could actually do quite easily 10 in one day. Imagine speaking to 10 people on a call once a week, how powerful that is, because they get to know you. So you say, right, okay, 10 minutes, let's talk about you. And for 10 minutes, I talk about me. And then let's see where we've got some common ground, because they get to know everything about you. You get to know everything about them. There might be a chance for a collaboration. It might be a relationship that doesn't go any further. But can you imagine how powerful that is, where you are telling someone for 10 minutes exactly what you do and how you help people? And then they go away and go, wow, they're going to remember that more and then when they see your social media posts, that falls in line there as well. So don't be afraid to reach out to people. And when you get those, don't do it straight away. Oh, hi, thanks for the friend request. By the way, do you want to jump on a 20-minute call? Because if someone did that to me, I'd be like, whoa, back off. That's like that you've encroached in my social space. Whereas if you've really built up those relationships, and you're not going to get it with everybody, you're going to get some people. And don't just reply to people. Don't go in and just go, hi, how are you? There's nothing more annoying than a message where all you get is, hi, how are you? Like, okay, I haven't got time to be playing table tennis over Messenger. I haven't got time for that. So what you want to do is make sure that you are building messages, and this applies for Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, every platform you're using. It's the same process. So think about pulling together, use ChatGPT, doesn't have to be a long message. Hi, thanks for connecting with me. If you want to look at their profile, you can put something in there. It takes you 2 minutes to do that. Or don't go in asking, oh, what made you decide to connect with me? Make it really easy. Think about the messages that you like to get. What makes you respond? All right, because that's how they're going to respond. Don't put people in a difficult situation where they're not going to reply to you. I get them quite often, where it's like, oh, what would your advice be on this? Or what would you recommend? And please don't send them links. Don't go, oh, hi, my name's Sam. I'm a social media expert. You can sign up for this, and this is my website. And why don't you join my group? And this is my business page, and da da da. It's not that. It's like, hi, thanks so much for your friend request. Really looking forward to kind of getting to know you a little bit more. I saw that you do XYZ, but I would love to know a little bit more. How can I help help you with your business from a point of helping you with your exposure, your visibility? That's not me selling. That's about me understanding what they do more because I can then recommend them, or I might know people that would want to use them. And then they might ask me that question. Then I can go in and say, hi, do you know what? Are you free next Tuesday at 10 o'clock? Do you fancy just jumping on a 20-minute call where I can learn more about you? You can learn more about me. Because after all, social media is about building relationships. You're going to get one of two things. Great. Yeah, let's jump on a call at 10 o'clock. No, thank you. That's fine. Let them say no and move on to the next person because they're saying no for many things. One, they might be busy. Two, it's out of their comfort zone. Three, they literally just wanted to come in and sell to you straight away, and they don't want the hard work of building relationships. That's fine. Move on. So think about how you can grow those relationships. And you might be thinking to yourself, oh God, that's a day out of my diary. It doesn't have to be a day out of your diary. It could be an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon. It might be 10 till 12. But if you're very, very strict and just saying, 20-minute call, and then just, and what you can do, and I do this with, because I offer a free 20-minute strategy call to people. And I think I mentioned this last week. I'm very, very strict. I set guidelines. So you don't have to say, oh, by the way, we've only got 20 minutes. I've got to get off the call. You can just say, oh, hi, do you fancy jumping on call at 10 o'clock? I have got to literally, I've got to be somewhere for 10:30, but 20 minutes would be great. I'm sure we can figure out what we both do in those 20 minutes, because 20 minutes is really powerful. You might want to do 15, okay? But just be really strict. And then if you feel the relationship is going somewhere, or you're having a really, really good chin wag, stay on the call, okay? Let it flow. But if it's getting awkward, just go, okay, that's great. Brilliant. Loved hearing that. Anyway, by the way, really looking forward to, getting to know you more on Facebook, and have an amazing rest of the day. And then you can go. You haven't got to make small talk because not every conversation is going to flow. So make sure that you are kind of looking at how you do this as well. Okay, so Buxo asked, what's the difference between views and reach? So when somebody views your post, that is what would be classed as a view. Now they can view it on more than one occasion. So for example, if they go back in and view it, that will go. So one person might actually count for 10 views if they're nosy and they come back. When it talks about reach, that's the amount of people that it has gone out to, one person at a time. All right. So it can be very, very different. Again, don't overthink your reach and your views, because I do sometimes wonder if the social media platforms do this just to mess with our minds and get us to do paid ads. Because I can have a post that's got loads of comments on it and loads of interaction, and it will tell me that it's only reached 200 people. And I'm like, that's not even possible. That is nowhere near impossible, because when somebody comments on it, it resuscitates the post. So sometimes don't overthink with what the views and the reaches are. It's good to know, because then you can kind of go, okay, people want to see this kind of content from me. But you've got other factors to think of as well. The day you put it out, the time you put it out, you've got what time of the month it is, from the date, you've got moons, you've got lots of things that you need to consider when it comes to social media. As something I touched on last week, I can put something out today and it might flop, but if I put it out again next week on a different day and a different time, it might go really, really well. So again, don't overthink that. Just have an eye on what is going on. Okay. Um, Katie said people send me messages are always saying things like, say, hi, how are you? And that is perfectly fine, but go into it, have an open question so that it's something that people will answer, and make it really easy for people as well. So you want to make sure that your question is open, but not from an open point of view of saying, how are you? You want to make sure, but you don't want to be too cringy. There is a sweet spot of actually getting this right, and you have to sometimes play around with it, and you have to make it sound like you. But again, once you get the hang of it, you just copy and paste. You've got a copy and paste message that you can just send to people, but just personalize it slightly as well. Okay. Um, Yeah, so there uh something's going on with Instagram at the moment because I was doing some stuff on Instagram yesterday and it was playing up, hence why Jane didn't get any comments. She got comments during a live, but then the metric said no comments. There is something going on because I was trying to put a reel on last night and it was playing up. So you do tend to find that there are glitches now and then, especially when they're kind of launching something or they're updating stuff. But again, don't overthink that either as well. Okay, so that's why we're kind of looking with Facebook. Now, when we look at our business pages, if you have a business page, what we want to be doing here, so there's some things that you need to remember with a business page is you need to have, let me go to my business page. You need to have a minimum of 100 followers or likes on your business page in order for Facebook to recognize it. If you don't have that, you need to start growing it to get to that over 100 mark. All right. If you're not being consistent on your business page, then it's about how you use your business page from there. But one of the things that I do is it's about how you then grow your network. So a couple of things that you can do is you can ask people, you can invite people. So grow your audience is there and you can invite friends. So grow your audience is where you will here, let me show you. So this is where people have commented on your posts. Okay. Or they've liked it and you can send them invites. Okay. So we can send those from there, which is great. Then what we need to do, oh, hold on, why is that still coming up? Let me just check it's done it. There we go, we're all up to date. So that's something that I do on a regular basis. I tend to do mine at the end of the, like on a Sunday, I just sit and go through and do this. This is my task I do once a week. So I've done that where I've clicked on grow your audience. The next thing you want to do is invite your friends. Now, you need to be really careful with this because you don't want to go inviting people that you've just connected with because there's nothing worse than getting an invite to a page of somebody you don't know. So what it will ask you to do is switch to your personal profile because it's accessing your connections on your personal profile, whether you're in professional mode or whether you're in a normal version as well. And then what it will ask you to do is select, it will ask you to select people. So you can select 1,000 people at any one time, and then you can invite them to like your business page. Now, one of the things that you need to be mindful of is, oh, let me switch back because I want to show you, is not everybody is going to like and follow your business page, okay? You'll mostly find that every 10 that you send, you'll get one or two that will like it. So again, this is why you want to grow your personal profile so that you've got the numbers that can then start liking your business page from there. So I'm just going to go back to this list and show you. Okay, so we've got 174 people left, so let's send those as well. Now, it might give you a restriction, depending on how often you use your business page, it might just only allow you to do like 100 at a time, or 500 or 1,000. But what I tend to do is I tend to just go in once a week and do this task and go from there. So when we're inviting friends, I just want to show you something else. Let's just wait for it to wake up. It might ask me, I thought it was going to ask me for a security question then. So I've invited so far 3,480 people who I am connected with on social media, on Facebook, to like my business page. Okay. So I've invited all of those. So these are people that haven't accepted the invite. Okay. So you can see here where people have followed, which is brilliant. But it is a hit and miss game. And this is why you can't you have no control over your business page. It's just the way that it is. Okay. It doesn't allow you to have that control around who you follow. Whereas with a personal profile, you can. You can grow that following because I can tell you now, if you send 20 friend requests now, I bet by the end of this session, at least 50% of those would have accepted that. Okay, and that's the difference from there. So if you do have a business page, make sure that you are doing it on a weekly basis or fortnightly basis, but just make sure that you're sending those requests. It might be that you put a post on your business page, on your personal profile to say to people, hi, I've got a business page. I would really, really appreciate some love to help me get to 100, and give yourself a goal, and then the following week it might be 200. So again, give yourself a goal and ask your audience to help you. If you don't ask, you don't get. What is the worst thing that could happen? Nobody's going to turn around and talk about you behind your back just because you ask them to help you, support you in your business. Okay? So don't be afraid. Okay? Okay. So yeah, Jane is saying that her reach is really bad at the moment. Mine is as well. I think it's the same for everything. It's that kind of. So what's happened is we had Black Friday. Black Friday went into December, which is really unusual. We then had the run up for Christmas where we had a lot of ads going out where businesses were selling for Christmas. So there was a lot of ads out. Then people had their Boxing Day sales. Then they had their January sales. Then you have the kids going back to school. Then you have the lull. So what tends to happen is what's happened from Black Friday up until yesterday, there has been this very much like this because of the amount of paid ads and the amount of stuff going on with Christmas and the new year, people getting back. This is really the first week that people are back to normal. Okay, so you will tend to find that after this week, things will go back to how they kind of were. But you will find as well every 4 to 6 weeks, you kind of get this dip. And that's why it's important to be consistent and not worry about it at all. So just to kind of give you some reassurance on this, let's just go through my posts over the last few days just to kind of give you some ideas. So I've only put this one out this morning, so it won't really give me many insights, but this is one that I put out. Let's not do today. So my reel that went out, let's see if it will give, let's move that. I'm just moving screens. So that's basically sharing the views, okay, on what it's got. I always get more views on my reels than I do with that one, and I think it is just down to what's going on at the moment. Then if we have a look at this post, okay, again, you can see here the views are just down. But what is interesting is, like, I love looking at this to see your followers and non-followers. So always make sure that you're putting stuff out, because there will be people that aren't following you that will see your content, and then that's where they then start following you. All right, so it's really important. So let's just go down. Let's find a different post, a more personal post. There you go. Okay, so that's just showing you that there's a dip yesterday, and that's most probably because it's that first back. Mondays are always a quiet day anyway. I always find on my social media, I would never promote anything massive on a Monday. Tuesday to Thursdays are always a good day. Mondays I always find people are busy, they're getting over the weekend, they're knuckling down. So always have a look, but just have a look at your insights and see what's going wrong. But just because my insights are low on these ones doesn't mean that I wouldn't put them out, because they do. Let me see if I can find another one. Here we go. Because they do get these kind of posts. I know they work. It's just the timing. I bet if I go and put that post out again next week on a different day, it would have a completely different reaction. Okay, so don't stress about it too much. If you find that it's a post that you really loved and you loved putting it out and it didn't work, just stick it out on another day. Okay. Okay, so Katie said I lost my business page 3 months ago and never got round to reinstating it. So using a professional mode and group instead. Perfect. If you don't have a business page, going to be completely honest with you, if you were in professional mode, no point. Absolutely no need to have a business page. Don't sweat it. Don't stress yourself out about it because it's not going to catapult your business into the next stage that you need it. What I would always say is concentrate your time. I was talking to someone this morning who's lost their Instagram account, and I said to her, did you like Instagram? No, not really. Did you get any business from it? No, not really. Okay, have you got many followers on there? No, not really. Well, why are you stressing about it then? Why do you need it? Why do you need to set up another one? Why are you going to set up a new account to grow your followers again, to put content out there and grow it? What's your favorite platform? Show I love Facebook. Stick on Facebook then. Just use Facebook. Utilize all the features on Facebook. Facebook's an amazing platform. You've got your personal profile, you've got groups, which you can have your own group, other people's groups, you've got stories, you've got reels. What isn't there to love? So we don't need to be on every single platform. Okay. If it doesn't bring you joy, bin it. All right. That's my big thing for this year. If it stresses me out, if anything stresses me out this year, it's going. I did say I was laughing with my hubby this morning. No, was it this morning? Yeah, because my I had a bit of a stressful morning with Molly this morning. Her ADHD was level 3, which is quite high, and it was really, really stressful. And um, I was just about to lose it, and I was like, "No, just let's just calm down." And I said to Rich, I said, "Anything that stresses me out is just go." And he said, "Sam, you can't pack her off. She's only 12." I went, "Yeah, I should be able to." I did. I packed her off to school, and then all calm was back in the house. I went for a walk, and we're perfectly fine. And she'll be fine when she comes home from school. So, but what I'm saying is, if something doesn't bring you joy, don't do it. You don't need to do it. We stress ourselves so much over things we don't like. I've just got rid of my accountant because it just they were just stressing me out. I mean, my accountant's there to help my life easier, not freaking stress me out. So they've gone. And that was huge. That was massive for me because now I've got a new accountant and it's, I don't need to, I just know that things are going to be right. But if, even as something as big as that, having my accountant did absolutely everything for me, massive. And I've just literally just bin them off just like that because I'm like, no, stressing me out, it's not bringing me any joy. So, okay. Oh, okay. So Charlotte is saying, why might I not be able to see the grow your audience option? I'm in professional mode and on my LinkedIn business page. So the grow your audience is a business page on Facebook. It's not on professional mode. It is a business page option. Okay. And it's in desktop in the 3 little dots. It'll be there. Now, something you do have to remember, not everybody has all the same features. Sometimes it's really annoying. You'll get some people that will have this and some people that won't have it. So if you don't have it, don't stress. Most of what it is, it's most probably in a different area, but it should be there. Okay. Um, okay, so how do you know if friends have already liked your business page or do you not have the option to do this? Um, so how you can find out if your friends have liked your business page is because you can go in and see who liked your business page. Plus, they won't be on the list. But I wouldn't worry about it too much because you can't invite somebody again. You can only invite them once. So you're not going to badger them by going, oh, but if you want to kind of message someone and go, oh, would you like my business page for me? And they go, oh, I already do. That'd be like, brilliant. That's amazing. Thank you so much. But again, you don't need to, I wouldn't stress about that either, because what will happen is you start looking down the list of people that like your business page and your best mate isn't, it's going to annoy you. It's going to have that knot in your stomach. If you then go down that list a week later and your best friend, best friend did like your page last week and they don't now, that's going to leave a little knot in your stomach. So don't again overthink it. All right. Just get people to follow your page. All right. So Anita said, I have 2 main business pages, one with my name of the training academy and the other with my name. Should I keep using both or just one? Right, this is a really good question. Should we have 2 business pages? Should we have 2 accounts? Should we have this? If the businesses are the same and they are aligned, then there's no harm in actually having one page. If they are two completely different things, so say for example, I did social media and then I was a cake baker, I would need two pages because that's two completely different audiences. However, I have got a client that is this person by day and this person by night. And she said to me, she said, I can't have two Facebook and two Instagram. I can't do it. I said, okay, let's just have one, but let's make it very, very clear on your profiles that you do this by day and you do this by night. In theory, she doesn't do one job in the day and then she sits in the evening doing the other. She has different days where she does different jobs. But what we were going for was like that superhero analogy. By day, they're Clark Kent. By night, they're Superman. And that's what she's done. And she's just created a banner that says, by day, I do this, by night, I do that. And she's making her post very, very clear. So as long as your messaging is clear around what you do, the other thing you need to be careful thinking about as well, are the target audience of one of your pages actually going to be interested in the other? So I remember working with a swimming company and they had a page for kids swimming lessons and they had a page for adult swimming lessons. Now, normally the child has an adult in their life and normally an adult will have a child in their life. So I'm like, why have you just not got one page and just have them all on one page? It'll make life so much easier for you. Plus, people, if they see that the two pages are very similar, they're the same company and they're very similar, they'll then unlike one of them or they get confused because they're like, well, which one am I? And think about tagging and stuff like that. So it goes into more deep of the thing. However, so for example, my business page covers absolutely everything. We do have a separate business page for the agency. But that's just because I've had it for years. And actually, the agency's got more followers on it than my own personal one. And we do run ads from that. And I don't want to be running ads from my personal profile in professional mode. So we do have that. But again, it's not much. We're not, because we schedule everything, the content that goes out on one business page goes out on another. So you need to just define whether you've got the brain space to work with two. Because to be fair, with the business page, as long as you're posting content on there, there isn't much more you need to do apart from interact with people when they comment. So, okay. So when do you decide whether to do a reel or a story? I seem to get better traction if I share on my page rather than story and a reel on Facebook. So I will do a reel every day and that reel will go on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. I might put it on, depends whether it's appropriate for LinkedIn. And then they'll go onto YouTube. And then I do stories every day. So my stories automatically share to my business page and my Facebook profile. And I will do multiple stories a day. So stories about sharing stories and telling stories around what you're doing. So I might think of something and think, oh, that's not actually going to make a good post, or it can go out as a post on another day. So I'll just share it as stories. So for me, it's not about making a decision. It's actually that is part of the strategy. So a reel every day. And then stories just go out multiple times, whether it's my posts, whether it's a photograph that I've just taken. So for example, yesterday it went for networking. I took a photograph of the networking event and the food. I'm not going to put that out as a post, but it will go on my stories. Because again, it's just about building that. A lot of stories that I do are actually like lead magnets as well. So it's asking questions to people so that I can get people to interact with me in the DMs and then start building those relationships with them as well. But you just have to find what platforms work well and what the platforms want from you from a content point of view as well, because everything is very different. And that's the thing that you need to kind of look at and assess over the next 6 weeks, because what you are doing will be completely different to someone else. And also each platform will be very, very different around what works and what doesn't. Okay. So if you have a business page, would you still keep going with it and get everything from your professional page? So if you do have a business page and you've got a good following on there, keep using it, just keep posting to it, because then people will be you'll still have people seeing stuff. Anything between 10 and 23% of people that follow your page will see your posts. It's more towards the 10% than it is the 23. But if you've still got people interacting and seeing your posts and you have a good following on your business page, then keep posting on there because you're creating content anyway. So you might as well just go into Meta Business Suite and just schedule it and get it on there that way as well. Okay. And to be fair, what goes on all of my profile, like what goes out goes on all profiles anyway. We just mix it up sometimes, and the times might be different from there. Okay. So Katie says LinkedIn doesn't bring me joy. Something about it makes me not like looking at it, but I still have this nag. I should be on there. Okay, so Katie, would love to know why it doesn't bring you joy. Okay, because it might be just the way, it might be the people you're connected with. It might be the way that you're using it. I don't mind LinkedIn, to be fair. It was a platform that I didn't use quite often, but I actually don't mind it now. But I think that's because I'm consistent with it. And also it's about how I've kind of found the right kind of content that needs to be on there as well. Okay, so that's sometimes that can happen there. Right, when we have groups, so for those that have groups, let me bring my group up. We want to be growing our groups. Okay, now there's a couple of ways that you can do this. All right, and it's entirely up to you how you want to do this as well. So let me just, so this is my group, my free group that I have. Now there's things that you can do. You can invite people. You can invite them via email, or you can invite your friends. So again, this is why you need to build up your friends list on your profile, because you want to make sure that you've got people that you can invite. And what you can do here is you can just go down, tick the boxes and invite people. So again, try not to overthink it, but just tick the boxes and invite people. Okay, go down and invite people to your group. And then when they're in there, you might say to yourself, well, do you know what? I'm just going to do 50 a day, or I'm going to do 20 a day. And then that's going to help you build your group. The reason why a lot of people don't do this, and don't do it for new people that you've just connected with, make sure you've got relationships with them. Don't just add people just for the sake of adding it. Go through it and do have some thought to it as well. So you don't want to be inviting family members if they're not your ideal client. You might not want to invite people that do similar things to you, because again, it's your group. You've got to have boundaries. But again, if you want to invite people to your group, that's perfectly fine. So if we just add, I'm just going to add a couple more people. Let's just add some more people here. Where are we? There we go. I'll just add a few people and we'll just send them an invite. Okay. Now, if you think that, okay, I'm just going to add 50 people a day to your group, you'll soon grow your group. All right. So you can grow your group in a really good way. The other way that you can grow your group is by promoting it on your social media. But don't just put a post out saying, oh, I have a free group that gives social media tips. Really sell it, okay? Tell people why they need to be in your group, because there's loads of social media groups out there. So why is mine different? Okay, so you've got to have a purpose for it. You've got to have a purpose as to why you're using your group. Are you doing regular lives in there? Are you giving them tips that they wouldn't get somewhere else? Are they, and it's because you've got to think also what your group is for. So you've got to have an end goal when it comes to your group. You can't just have a group for the sake of having a group. So the idea is that those people in the group will basically see how good you are and become your clients. And that's what you want them to do. All right. So make sure you have a purpose for your group as well. Okay. Charlotte said, I feel like social media in general doesn't bring me joy, but I'm trying to change this, and having inquiries and helping people does bring me joy. Exactly. And that's where you've got to have that spin. Someone asked me a question last year. If I didn't do what I did, would I be on social media as much as I am? And the answer is no. And I know that for a fact, because when I go away, I'm hardly on social media. Okay. Because I wouldn't need to be on there. I'm on social media because I'm growing a business. Social media for me is a marketing tool. It's a way to bring in business. When I was on holiday over Christmas and New Year, I switched my phone off for 48 hours. I was off social media for 4 days. And I still had business come in because I've built my social media that it can do that for me. But it is a marketing tool. All right. Now I might have it if I didn't have my business tomorrow, my answer might be a little bit different because I might still think that I need to put things on social media just to have that connection with the outside world. But it doesn't, I don't sit there and scroll because I know if I sit there, start scrolling, I start getting imposter syndrome. It affects my mental health. It's then this, oh, why can I not have 100,000 followers? Why is my reel not getting 50,000 views? Why did I not sell out my last thing? Why did I not get 10 clients in 2 minutes? Because that is the crap that is on social media, because people will only tell you what they want to tell you. They will only give you the good stuff. They won't tell you when it's the bad stuff. And that's what we need to make sure that we're doing. And that's why people trust you, because you share the crap as well as the good stuff. Okay. And be open and honest. So don't worry if it doesn't bring you joy. What I'm saying is, if social media doesn't give you a joy, think to yourself, is there another way that I can? Is there another marketing tool that I can use within my business that is going to help me? If there isn't, then you just need to kind of go, right, okay, I know I've got to do social media. How do I get around it? So plan, execute, get in, get out. That's all you need to do. And that will help as well. There we go, Katie. So Katie's got 5 new friends in 20 minutes. Fantastic. Brilliant. Let me know if you do message them and reach out to them. So brilliant. Okay. Okay, Charlotte's got to go because she's got another call. So brilliant. Okay. So when it comes to groups, there's various ways that you can do it. You can share it on your platforms. So all the platforms you're on, you can share your group. Make sure it's on your website. Make sure the link is there. It might be that your banner at the top, so where we've got our banners on our profiles, it might be that you're asking people to join your free group. Okay, because in a theory, it's a lead magnet. If you're getting people to join your free group, they're seeing what you're doing, you're posting what you have to offer, and then they're going to buy from you anyway. So it could be that that is what your thing is. If you're talking in groups, if you're talking in memberships, masterminds, events, it might be that you use your group as your call to action where you're getting people into there as well. Okay. So think about how you are growing your group, because you need to grow it, because unfortunately the reach in groups is awful. So you want to make sure you're growing your group so more people see it. And then make sure that you're doing things that are getting people to ask questions and interact. So as you can see here, this is my group. So the post we put in yesterday, and this is no reflection on the content or the group. This is just groups in general. So there's 20,000, there's 2,000 people in my group. Put a post out yesterday, it reached 51. Okay. It's just the way it is. That one was a bit more because we had 6 people comment. That was a bit less. That was a bit more because we had a few more people comment. But it's not, again, you've got to make sure that you are having that joy in your group, because, and this is the other thing that makes me laugh. So here we go. This just proves that insights are a load of crap. So that reached 78 people but had 11 comments. Let me just take you back to this one. 193, but 4 comments. How is that even possible? So can you see why I'm saying don't overthink all of that information? Because it will just depend on the time, the day, when, what content you're putting out. It's bizarre. Social media is such a bizarre thing. It really is. So just be mindful that you don't want to be spending too much time in your group. As long as you've got to think what its end goal is, and is that achieving that as well. Here we are. Here's another example. 2 comments, 135 people reached. No rhyme, no reason. It's just bizarre. So bizarre. And it's just the way that it is. It really is. It can be graphics, can be wording, keywords, the whole shebang. But if you start overthinking it, you won't have time to do anything. Right, okay, so we're going to look at LinkedIn now. So when we look at LinkedIn for growing our connections, um, again, it's the same process of what we're doing with Facebook. So when you go, it's easy to do this on desktop as well. And when you go to your network, you will have, here we go, I've got 41 people that have sent me connection requests. Okay. Now I tend to do these on a weekly basis. I go through and go, how many connections have we got? I might go and have a look at their profile. I'll see what they do, and then I'll decide whether I'm going to accept them or not. So you can easily go through and accept them from there. Now, I'm not as picky on LinkedIn as I am with other social media platforms. There's a few things here that I do have. So anybody that doesn't have a profile picture, they go. Okay. This person will most probably go because I know full well that they're not in the UK. So that's going to go, that one's going to go, that person's going to go, that person's going to go. All right. So if we've only got one or two connections, I'm like, okay, are they an ideal client? Now, the great thing with LinkedIn, it gives you the headline here. So it tells you exactly what they do. So you can make a decision pretty quickly without having to look at their profile, whether you want to connect with them or not. But the way that I look at this is it's not necessarily connecting with Marta. What I want Marta's connections. So I'm going to give you an example. So Sandra sent me a request. I'm going to accept that. So I've accepted Sandra's request. Now I have access to Sandra's connections. And this is the best way to do it from here. So if I go here, so I've just accepted, oh, how do we pronounce that? Trust me to pick someone that I can't pronounce the name for, Apra. So I've connected with her. Now, as you can see down here, LinkedIn have now given me access to her connections. So I can look at these and go, okay, are these the kind of people that I want to connect with? To be fair, they all pretty much do what I do. So would they be potential clients? Most probably not. So let's pick someone else. Let's go with Gina. We've got, what does Gina do? Let's connect with Gina, and then let's have a look at Gina's connections. Okay, so we've got Donna there. Oh, Julie looks nice to connect with. Yep, let's connect with Kate. We'll connect with Jen. Let me move across. We'll connect with Jane. Connect with Freya. Let's connect with Heidi. There, I'm just working through them all. Connect with, I know Catherine, so we'll connect with Catherine. Let's connect with that person. There we go. And if I want, I can do show more. So here we go. So that is giving me access to all of her connections. How amazing is that? How easy is that? Because what's going to happen is I'm going to connect with these people. Can you see how easy I'm doing this? I'm just going to do 20. And because they'll see that I have a connection with that person, they're more than likely going to connect with me as well. So nice and easy. And you can do that with all of them. What you can then do is you can scroll down, and LinkedIn will give you people that they feel suit you based on your information you put out, other people that you connect with. I never connect with people that haven't got a profile picture. If you can't be bothered to put your profile picture on public, I don't want to connect with you. It's just the way that I am. So I can connect with Chris. I can connect with Penny. Let's connect with Amanda. Let's connect there and there. Okay. Now it's giving me people that are local in the Northampton area. So I know Damien, I go to his axe throwing. Let's connect with Georgina. Let's go with Leon. Let's connect with Hayley. Oh, and I know Hayley as well from Harry's Pals. So again, if I want to connect with people in my local area, it's going to pick up. And that's why last week I said, let's put in our local town, because it starts to pick up people that are local to us. Okay, so if you are looking for local business, this is the perfect one to be. Okay, so I think we sent about 20 connections there. So what we'll do in a moment is it will soon tell us, let's have a look. It will soon tell us how many people have accepted those requests as well. Now, what you want to be doing, so on my goal at the moment by the end of January is to have 10,000 connections. Okay. So I want to make sure that I am connecting with people. So I've sent these requests. Okay. Um, so I need to make sure that ideally I'm doing 20 a day. By doing 20 a day, that is going to give me my 10,000 by the end of the month. So set yourself a little goal. So if you're not at 500 yet, set yourself 500. Once you've hit 500, go to 750. Once you've hit 750, go to 1,000. But again, you want to be building and growing your network. So if we now go back to network, so there we go. Georgia has accepted my friend request or my connection request there as well. So we can have a look and see how quickly. And to be fair, on LinkedIn, most people will accept your friend request. So we'll just ignore that one from there as well. But when people send you a connection request on LinkedIn, they automatically follow you, which is great because that's what you want them to do. You don't have to accept. Okay, so if we have a look at my followers, these are all the followers. And if I want to follow back, I can follow back if I want to. Okay. So LinkedIn is really good. The other thing that you need to be doing on LinkedIn as well is, right, let me show you this. Okay. So for example, let me go to my post this morning. So I've put my post out this morning on LinkedIn. Okay. And there are people here that I'm connected with. So I just go through and make sure I'm actually connected with all those people. And then I make sure that I'm connected with all of these. Now I know I'm connected to them because they'll be first or second contacts. If there's a third one in there, then I need to just connect with those. Now, one thing that I will do now is everybody that comments on my post, I will go into them. I will go to their post. So Ruth posted today and I will comment back on her. So she scratched my back. I'm now going to scratch her back. So I'm going to comment on her post. But what I will then do is I will go down her list of people that have commented and see if there is anybody there in the meantime that I'm not connected with. If I'm not connected with them, then I make sure I connect with them. Okay. So again, we need to make sure that we are connecting with people all the time, but we want to build a tribe. And that's what you want to be doing on your social media is building a tribe all the time. Okay. It's okay to have a cull and get rid of people as well. Okay. So where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Okay, so Katie said that makes me feel better about groups as I'm really trying to detach from the insights as they make me want to give up. Yeah, definitely they do. They're the worst, absolute worst. So Karen has said, would you not connect with a message on LinkedIn? I don't tend to because I'm doing so much from there. I don't tend to. What I tend to do from a LinkedIn point of view with my 20-minute call is I want to connect with people that are actually commenting on my post. Okay, that's what I want to do. So rather than reaching out to the network that I've just connected with, I focus on the people that are connecting and interacting on my post first of all, because they're showing some kind of interest. So I will reach out to them. And then kind of go from there. And then if I run out of people from there, then I will kind of reach out to people and say, oh, hi, lovely to connect with you. You know, how are you today? Would love to kind of know a little bit more about you. Are you free to jump on a call? With LinkedIn, you can be a little bit more direct, which is great. But again, don't go in and sell because that's not the purpose of LinkedIn anymore. Okay. So Katie said I had a loose connection say to me, it took me a while to translate your profile headline. I thought you were in Thailand. Made me a little bit weird with connecting more. Okay, so let's just have a look. So it might be that that person was in Thailand and that it comes up as that. So I'm going to connect with you first. I'm going to send without a note. Let's have a look at your profile. So right, okay. What's happened here is, and this can happen sometimes, when you put a place in, so what it's done, Phuket is in Thailand. So sometimes what can happen is it may translate. Okay, so when someone sees that, it's picked up Phuket, think that you are in Thailand, and it's put a translation on there. All right. So this happened to me a while back when I think it was I can't remember when it was. I did a post and it basically translated it in Welsh because when I actually looked at it, I said the name I said something that sounded like Wales. And I think it was because I actually said Wales as in the animal rather than the place. And then it just basically translated it into Welsh. So that will be the reason why. So with our headlines, what we need to do is we need to make sure we are very, very clear. So what do we do to help people? One of the things that is very old school now with LinkedIn is the term of helping so and so or I help. Okay, you need something that stands out, and this is where ChatGPT comes in real handy because you can ask it to create a headline for you that is suitable for um, for LinkedIn. And you can add things in there. Who's your target audience? What do you provide? How do you want to stand out? Be a little bit quirky. Do this, do that. So again, you can create that, but you need to make sure that you promote everything that you do, but you need to make sure that you're very clear. But you need to get in your keywords as well because it's really important to have those. So that's how the best way is to connect on um, that's the best way to connect. Now, does anybody have a business page on LinkedIn? If you do, just put yes. If you don't worry about it. Because to be honest with you, business pages on LinkedIn, I wouldn't worry about it. If you don't have one, don't need one. Okay, use your personal profile. If you do, Katie, do you use your do you use your business page on LinkedIn? Okay, cool. So what I will say is, if you do want to use it, let me just show you. There we go. Let me get mine up. We don't really use it. We do post to it. But one of the things that you can do is you can grow your followers by inviting connections. So you get 250 credits a month. And if you do have a business page, it's always worth kind of using them because they refill on the first. So what you can do is you can grow your following. Now we do have content. So, and we've just launched this. So let me go through. And again, you don't have to overthink this. You can just literally send out the request. So whether you do like 20 a day or you do 50 at a time over a week, it's entirely up to you. But what you want to be doing is sending invites to like your business page. Because if you send 250 people an invite to like your business page, even if you've got 10% of that, that's 25 a month, that's 250 a year. So over time, you will grow your business page. So I'm going to go to 50 and then I'm going to leave it and then I'm going to invite those. Okay. So it's 50 people that I have invited to like my page. Now, actually, I'm quite impressed with that because we haven't really done anything, but we've got 10 followers already. So quite happy with that. And again, we can see that 4 of those are in my area and the followers that are there. Okay. So how do you know if you've got a business page on LinkedIn? Go to your home profile and in the menu on the left-hand side, it will give you your pages. And if you've got a page, it will be there. Okay, so if you're admin on a business page on LinkedIn, it will be there. So yeah, and that's kind of how you want to connect with that. So everybody happy with LinkedIn? I think I did. Okay, so Katie said with reference to her business page on LinkedIn, I think I did it at the time, so I could say I worked there and I put the graphic in the experience section. Yeah, it's entirely up to you. I do find that business pages don't get as much reach, very similar to Facebook, but again, if you build your following, at least those people will see the posts, which is brilliant. Okay, so we've now got LinkedIn sorted, so we can now see that those friend requests that I sent, okay, we did 20, we've had 3 so far. Okay, we go to Facebook, Heather's accepted my friend request, okay, which is great, and we've had some people, can you see here? So if let me just move some things around. Can you see here all those invites that I sent to like my business page? In fact, that's quite good. Okay, that was quite a good one. We've had quite a good. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we've had 15, okay, which I think we sent about 1,500, so 1%. That's not bad. I'm quite pleased with that. I'm happy with that, 1%. Okay, because I dare say that might grow as well. Okay, so we've got a good thing there. Right, okay. What do you post on your business page? What's different to a business page? So there isn't on LinkedIn, a business page is the same as what it is on Facebook. It's a page. So you put your content on there just like you would on your personal profile. So to be fair, what goes on the personal profile on LinkedIn goes on the business page. So the same kind of strategy. I don't create a different strategy. It's exactly the same. There's no point in creating additional posts. All right. But we're talking about social media management. And there will be posts that go on. We just brand it different. So we've got the agency logo on there as well. Okay. But as the followers grow, I might do more tips and stuff like that as well. Okay. But at the moment, because it's very low on followers, it's about my energy and my time that I put on there. Right. Okay. So don't think of business pages and profiles being different. They're the same. You've got to get your content out and you've got to grow your following and you've got to interact with people. Right, Instagram. So Instagram and TikTok are very, very similar when it comes to growing your audience and your followers. So again, you've got to think about how many followers you have. Doing reels is good because they go public and people will follow you. However, Instagram has changed. Instagram, gone are the days on Instagram where you put a hashtag out and you get 10,000 followers. It doesn't happen anymore, I'm afraid. It just doesn't work. So there's a couple of things that you can do is you can follow people with a view that hopefully they'll follow you back. But what you want to be doing is making sure that you've got this gap. So it's normally you're following, the people that you are following is half of the people that are following you. So you want to make sure that your followers is higher than this. Okay. Now, again, you don't need thousands and thousands of followers to have a successful Instagram account. It's whether you're getting the inquiries through and the business through. If you're getting inquiries and business through on your Instagram account, the account is working for you. And that's all that bothers me. I get a lot of business from Instagram. I get a lot of people DMing me because they're seeing what I do. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can grow your following. First of all, you can go and find people. So if we go home and we go to, there's a couple of things that you can do here. You can go through the feed and you might click on someone's profile. Then you might want to go onto their followers. And then what you could do is go through and you can follow those people. So I know these three. So let me follow those three people. Okay. And then let's go down, see if there's anyone else. Let's do that one. Let's do that one. That one. That one. It's just finding people that I think you can tell here if they're businesses. Okay, so I'm just going to do 20. Just to give you an idea. Okay, okay. So that's one thing that you can do. So nice and easy. Just go and find someone's profile, go and have a look and see who their followers are and just connect with those. Now, I'm hoping what will happen is that because I followed them, they will follow me back. Okay. And also you'll get suggestions as well. So you'll get suggestions of people that you might want to follow here also. Okay, now you might want to go into their account and just make sure that their account is up to date. So this account posted 3 weeks ago, so that's fine. Let's just give them a follow because ideally what will happen is they'll follow me back. Okay, so we can do that one. And then let's go and have a look for someone else. Just trying to let's follow that one so I know who they are. I know them. Know them. Okay. Right, cool. So we've sent out 20 requests to follow people, and then let's see what kind of comes back from there. So again, just make sure that you're connecting with people so that on Instagram so that they then connect with you. What you then need to be doing, and this is something that I would do kind of every week as well as a little bit of housekeeping, is go in to the people that are following you and just pick 10 people and go into their profile and see if they're following you. And if they're following you, keep them on there. If they're not following you, get rid. Okay, so how you do that, you can do this on your phone or you can do it. It's easier if you do it on your phone because you're not doing as many clicks. It's a lot quicker, but I'm just kind of giving you an idea. So Yoga Me, okay, let's see if she's following me. Yep, she's following me. But also what I can do is I could go through her list now and go, oh, okay, these are people because we're local. She lives in Northampton as well. So there might be people here that I think, oh, these are good people to connect with. So it's about building. But what you've got to remember is you want to make sure that you're not pushing your following up too high. So the people that you are following doesn't go over this amount. Okay. You want to kind of have a 50% split. So every week, just go in and maybe do 10 or once a day, go in, find 10 people and go, okay, are they actually following me? And you can do it quite easily from there. Okay, this is a good example actually. So Nicola is following more people than she's got followers. All right, so again, you want to make sure that that number should be reversed. Okay, let's do one more. If anyone's got any questions or not sure on that, don't worry. It can get a little bit confusing with this one, I have to say, because you've got your followers, you're following, so it's just getting your head around it. So let's pick one more. Just going to pick, let's do this one. Okay, so they're not following me. So I have no interest in following that person. So I'm going to unfollow. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's something that you can do, and that's going to help you. So when you think about it, if you follow 10 people a day, in theory, you want to get rid of 10 people a day as well, because you want to make sure that you're keeping that balance. Okay, so your followers go up. Okay. Um, and then I do interact. Yeah. So what happens is then, let me go for my notifications. Once I've got my notifications, you will see people that have followed you. So then once they've followed me, I then go in and send them a message, and then I'll comment on their posts as well. Okay, because they're in my feed. So every day I'm going in and commenting on people's feeds as well. All right. So that's good. So we've got some other follow requests here as well. So these are people that want to follow me. So go and check out these ones as well. So we can confirm, 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 confirm. Oh, hold on. Oh, where did that go? Where's that one? You may not see these on your mobile, so make sure that you use your desktop. Use your desktop, to really help you. Sugar Daddy Jeff 21. I mean, really, do we want to allow that? Oh, there we go. So again, you can just go in and look and see if there are ones that you want to connect with. But yeah, you can do those as well. So when we now go to my profile, that's not updating. So let's just come out of there and go back in and see if that makes a difference, if that updates. And then we'll go here. Okay, cool. So that's pushed followers up and people that are following me. So if we go to notifications now, there we go. So we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got quite a few people that have now started following me. All right, so they're there. And then I'll get notifications on other people. And then what I'll do, those people that have started following me, I'll just drop them a message. Okay. Just say hi, thanks for the connection. And then what I normally do with Instagram is because of the way that Instagram is as a platform, I will send them a link to something. Okay, whether it's to book a discovery call, because I kind of go, hi, thanks for following me. I trust that you're following me because you want to know more about how you can improve your social media strategy. Feel free to download this to help you, or I might do book. It will depend on who the person is, but I do tend to check out. But again, this is why we kind of look at just doing 10 a day or 20 a day, because we need to make sure that we have got the time to do all the other things as well, and also that we are maximizing. When it comes to email lists as well, this is something else that we need to think about, is we need to make sure that we are using our email lists in the right way. So you need to think about how you're going to grow your email list. And we will talk about that in another session, but it's pretty much making sure that you are getting how are you going to get the people that you have just connected with on your email list. So when you are connecting with them, and you are interacting with them, are they seeing ways that they can sign up for your email list? When you get to a point where you've built that relationship, can you send them something in the message to say, oh, hi, would I, if you're struggling with that, here, have this. And that's one of the things that I tend to do. So I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and she was and when I said, oh, I'm a social media expert, she said, oh my God, I really struggle planning my social media content. So I just said, look, would you like my social media content planner? Here's the link. Just sign up for it. So not only is she following me on Facebook now, she's also on my email list. So we need to think about how we can grow that all the time, but we will be covering that in a different session as well. Okay, so we've got time for questions. If anyone's got any questions. But make sure you are interacting with other people as well. The other thing is with Instagram, most people on Instagram will just look at posts, images. So when you do interact on someone's post, it does make them feel a little bit special. So be that person that makes some, especially if you come across a post on any social media platform where it's got no engagement whatsoever. If you are the first person to comment on that, just imagine how you would make that person that put that post out feel. A massive difference. And already you have ticked off that first box for building those relationships because they're going to remember you. They're going to remember you as the person. You don't need to do it all the time. Don't become the stalker. Don't become the resident stalker where you're constantly like, oh, I'm going to message on that post because they're a little bit lonely. You know, the person that stood in the corner in the playground. You don't, but what you are doing every now and then is you're just showing your support. And what will happen is, as well, by you commenting, you're helping that post get out a little bit more as well, and they'll remember you for that as well. So, have we got any questions quickly? Any questions? Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do, I'll give you a couple of minutes if you've got any questions that you want to put in the chat or you want to ask live. What I will do is I'm going to put a post in our Facebook group that is basically asking the question about numbers when it comes to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn group, and our email list. What that then is going to give us, it's going to give us that social proof so that when we then come to look at it, we'll review it every 4 weeks and go, okay, where are we now? So we'll do that. Okay. So next week we are going to be looking at email marketing. So we're gonna be looking at where we're doing our emails. We're going to be looking at email sequences. I've got lots and lots of tips and skills to share with you around how you do this, when you should be doing that, how look at your email automation. If you have got an email automation already, and you're not getting anything from it, I'm going to give you some really, really quick, simple tips on how we can change it. We're going to be looking at creating our email automation as well. Okay, right. Jane, LinkedIn, assume if I never post, okay, assume if never posted in the platform.
Come off, yeah. So I'm making connections, but if they've never posted on LinkedIn, I don't want to connect with them, do I?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Just thought that was correct.
No, I mean, to be fair, if someone, it's it's a hard one, that, because you kind of get people that are lurkers and they don't want to post, but yet they'll spend all their time looking through. But at the same time, it's a really hard one because you kind of go, do you know what? If they're my target audience, why are they on LinkedIn? But what you can do, and this is quite an interesting one, with LinkedIn, if what I'm going to do is, let me just bring it up. Bum, bum, bum. Did it? All right. Just give me 2 secs. Right, Katie, I'm going to pick on you again. Sorry, but you were my latest connection on there. So what we can do on LinkedIn, we can look at their activity. So when we scroll down, so I'm in Katie's profile right now. Great banner, by the way, love that. Really bright and colourful, and it's on your brand as well. So we can see here that Katie's activity, now her post, she posted 2 weeks ago. And then from a comment point of view, we can see that 2 weeks ago she commented, and then she commented a month ago and a month ago. We can also have a look and see if she's done any videos, okay, and when and what they were, and then her images. We can have a look at her images. These are the two things that are important. So when did they last post and when did they last comment? Because somebody may not be posting, but they may be a serial commenter. And again, if they are a serial commenter, it means that they're a lurker, which means that all they're doing is watching on LinkedIn, which means that they would be seeing your post. So it's about having that kind of thought of, okay, what do I do here? Do I connect? Or it's a time element. You've got to think to yourself, okay, do I want to be spending my time going through people's profiles, or do I just want to do what Sam did and go duh, 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 duh? Or is it, if it is someone you go, do you know what, I really want to connect with this person on LinkedIn, but they don't bloody do anything on there, then again, don't overthink it. Just literally get in and get out because you haven't got time. Your time on social media is precious. Okay, so from there. So Katie said, I'm not a LinkedIn fan, but it's on my 2025 list to increase. One of the things is, if you're not a LinkedIn fan, is just think about, is your target audience on there? Is it a platform that you want to build in once you've got Facebook up and running? So for example, if your strategy is to go, right, Facebook, Instagram, and then LinkedIn, let's get Facebook all sorted and I'm posting daily, I'm doing my stories, I'm doing my reels, I'm connecting with people on a daily basis. I'm interacting with other people. Tick, tick, tick. Done that for 4 weeks. I'm in a habit. I've got it down to a T. I'm spending 20 minutes a day doing that. I've nailed it. Then you go, right, now I'm going to do the same on Instagram. So I'm posting on Instagram anyway, because what I'm putting on Facebook, I might as well put on Instagram. But now is my time to focus on Instagram as well as Facebook. So you're doing everything that you're doing on Facebook. And now with Instagram, you're following 10 people a day. You're interacting with 5 to 10 people a day, and then you're messaging those people as well. Now you're going, right, the 20 minutes I was spending each day has now increased to 40 minutes because as you increase your strategy on social media, that's what's going to change. You then have to think to yourself, right, the third platform I'm going to bring in month 3 or month 4 is going to be LinkedIn. But I know that it's 20 minutes there, 20 minutes there. Have I got 20 minutes a day to think to myself, right, I want to spend time on LinkedIn? Now, I've just said that's an hour to basically maintain and manage 3 platforms a day. Monday to Friday, don't forget, we're just talking Monday to Friday. And that's why I always say block out time where you're going to be looking at your social media and your marketing. But it doesn't have to be 60 minutes all in one chunk. It could be, right, okay, I'll do Facebook in the morning, I'll do Instagram at lunchtime, I'll do LinkedIn in the evening. Or it could be, right, okay, I'm going to go and do my connections now on all 3 platforms. Then it might be, I'm going to go and comment on all my posts while I'm having my lunch. And then in the evening, it might be that then you're going to send the messages. So it's about how you find your structure and how you work. But you can't go from 0 to here overnight. It's impossible to do. You'll do it for 2 weeks and then you won't do it because you'll have burnout. So it's better to start off with one. You're doing the content anyway, so schedule it on Instagram, schedule it on LinkedIn, get it out there. Okay. Then in month 2, go, right, okay, I now need to up my game on Instagram. I can start doing that. Then month 3, you can LinkedIn. It might be that you go, well, do you know what? I'm connecting with 10 people on Instagram, on Facebook, so I might as well do Instagram, I might as well do LinkedIn as well, and then grow and build from there. So it doesn't have to be all in one go. Just break it down and work with what works for you. So Katie says, I'm at an age where the thought of, oh, hold on a sec, that has
I'm
disappeared.
at the age where the thought train was that LinkedIn was for the business professionals
Yeah,
platform.
and a lot of people
I
do
still
see that.
have that in my head because that's what I grew up with.
Exactly. And a lot of people do. A lot of people do. Shall I share my photograph that I put on LinkedIn this morning? Okay.
Mm.
My boobs are out. Got the boys out. That's mostly why I've had quite a lot of interest in it. But it's just a bit of fun. Basically, they were on the cruise that we did at Budapest on Friday night. And by having that bottle of wine on your head, it's good luck. And these guys were so funny. They were like, oh, let's take a cheeky photo. So again, it isn't all about business related, but can you see here? All I'm doing is I'm talking about how people are holding back from putting on social media because they're worried about what people think of them. Yeah, I've put a photograph out of me with a bottle of wine on my head, with my boobs hanging out, and like I've got a glass of champagne in my hands as well. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. And then at the end, I'm promoting my social reset, which is today and tomorrow. So I've hit 3 things here. I'm giving people the it's okay to not worry about that. And I'm giving you permission to not worry about that. I'm putting myself out there and not giving a crap about what people think. And I'm promoting something as well. Okay. So when we're talking about, top trump cards, I've ticked off all my top trumps with that post. Okay, because I'm hitting everything there as well. So yeah, it's yeah, my next photo shoot, boobs out. I did have that box there behind me. If I turn that around, that's actually my boudoir shoot that I had done. We've just put it there because it's going to go back down. It used to be downstairs, but because we're having our bar built next week, we've had to move things around. And I was like, look, I'll just stick it on there because it's not going to get broken. Because it's a proper like mahogany box, and it's got all my photographs in there. I might share those on LinkedIn actually, putting myself out there and stuff. So, right, okay. So go and kind of have a look at that. So the homework for this week is start building into your strategy, connecting with friends. Okay, let's think of them as connecting with friends. So think of this as you going down the local pub. We don't tend to go down local pubs anymore, but I use this analogy because it helps people. So imagine when I bought my second house, it was next door to a pub. Absolutely loved it. It was your typical traders pub. All the tradesmen would pull up in the evening, well, afternoon, park their vans, which was a nightmare for us because we could never get parked. And our garden was a semi-detached, our house was a semi-detached, and our garden backed on to the pub, and we had a gate, which was great. Now, my daughter Holly, who's 25, she used to sleep in the bedroom, and we had the baby monitors, and we used to go and sit in the pub. I know, it's like, but back then, that's what you did, and that was fine. And to be fair, it was no different from me sitting in my garden to me being in that garden. That's how far it was away. And so let's think about a pub. You go into a pub on your own, you go up to the bar, you order yourself a drink. Sarah comes into the pub, she orders herself a drink. She stood at the bar on her own, you're stood at the bar on your own. You make eye contact, and you're like, hi, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right. You move a little bit closer, okay? She moves a little bit closer. How's your day? Yeah, you're here on your own. Yeah, I'm here on my own. What are you drinking? Oh, I've got a gin. Oh, I've got a glass of Prosecco. What's made you come here on your own? Oh, I just needed to get away from the kids. Yeah, me too. How old are your kids? Before you know it, you've built relationships. So think of your social media platform as your pub, okay? Go and connect with those people. Start building those relationships. Don't overthink it. Don't make it hard work. Because as soon as you start making it hard work, it soon becomes hard work. So just keep it really relaxed. You're in the cocktail bar, you're in the pub, whatever analogy you want to use, just start making friends. And that's what you want to be doing, because everybody that I'm connected with on my social media, they're my friends. They're not connections, they're not followers, they are my friends. Okay, and I try and get to know people as much as I possibly can, just as much as I want them to get to know me as well. Okay, so start building it into your strategy, even if it's just one platform for now. Okay, connect with at least 10 people a day. Let's make sure that you are growing your groups. If you've got a business page, grow your business page, but just start building all of that up as well. Okay. Okay, where are we with messages? Right, okay, cool. So Jane has said she's booked onto the reset for the next 2 days. I would say yes, because to be honest with you, I kind of have a structure of what I'm going to be doing, but it might be stuff that you've already heard, Jane, but there might be stuff in there that you might think, oh yeah, I remember Sam saying that. So today is kind of going through the structure of being visible and consistent, and then Wednesday is about how to pull together a 90-day plan from there as well. But they are being recorded. Okay, brilliant, fab. Okay, have a fab rest of the day. I'm going to post that question in the group shortly. I'm going to go and get prepared, ready for my session in my social reset that starts at 12. And I shall see you all next week, same time, 10 o'clock Tuesday. Katie, 10 o'clock Tuesday, love. That's fine. It happens to all of us. It happens. I love it. I love it that you're eager. I do.
I've never walked up the hill so quickly in all my days.
There we go. There we go. Bit of exercise as well. Make sure you go and go and have a bit of headspace now and write notes down. If you've got Trello board, write notes down, post-it notes, write notes down, and then go and make a cup of tea, go and make some lunch, go and have some headspace so that you're not your brain's kind of having that time to breathe, because we've had quite a long session again this morning. Right, take care everybody. I shall see you soon and have an amazing week. See you later, guys. Bye.